let's explain and interpret FICA and federal income taxes. Now, this is a high level, right? We're not going to get into the nitty-gritty, but the basics. So the FICA tax. Basically, it's made up of Social Security and Medicare. Now, how this is calculated, Social Security is calculated 6.2% of your gross income. Remember, gross income is the amount before taxes are taken out. Now, there is a limit. Only up to $128,400 can be taxed for Social Security. So what that means to me is that anything over $128,400, you don't take Social Security out of that. So this is the limit of what can be taxed for Social Security. With Medicare, we take 1.45% of the gross, and there is no limit. So if you would make $10 million, or I should say you earn $10 million, we would take 1.45% of all of that gross income because there's no limit on finding the Medicare amount. Now, when we would add those two together, that would consist of the FICA tax. For federal income tax, let's drop down to the second one. These are very interesting. So for each year, the tax people, I guess the IRS would what's the word I'm looking for? They put out these tax brackets. Okay, they release them. That's the word I was looking for. So they release the tax brackets that each one is like, okay, if you earn up to this amount, you have the set amount plus a percentage over amount. So you hear somebody say like, I'm in the 24% tax bracket or the 22% tax bracket. That just tells you what your set amount is plus the additional. Okay, and we'll do an example because I think it makes more sense if you actually do one. Okay, so let's do an example of each of these. Bill is a security guard and he earns a total of $94,500 in gross pay annually. Determine the total amount of FICA taxes that would be deducted over the course of the year, assuming a 2018 tax year. I say 2018 tax year because that's what these values here are calculated off of. Okay, so for FICA, remember first, this number is less than that 128.4 that we talked about the limit. So for Social Security, we would take the 6.2%, change it to a decimal, and we're going to multiply by 94,500. When I multiply those together, I have an amount of $5,859. So that's the amount in Social Security. Now, the other one we need to take care of is Medicare, right? Well, Medicare is the 1.45%. So I changed that to a decimal, 0.0145, and I multiplied that by 94,500. That gives me an amount of $1,370.25. So to find the total of FICA taxes, I would add those two together, which comes up to $7,229.25. So that would be the amount of FICA taxes annually for this particular person. Let's do the other example. Dustin is filing his taxes as a single person for the year 2018. In the 2018 tax brackets, okay, that's what we're dealing with. So his total taxable income is $94,800. He is in the 24% tax bracket. Therefore, he will pay $14,089.50 plus 24% of the amount over $82,500. That's how the tax brackets read. So how much will he owe in federal income tax in 2018? So our first job is that we need to figure out how much does he earn over the 82.5. So if I take the 94.8, that's his gross income, right, his taxable income, and I subtract 82,500, I get 12,300. So this is the over amount. So when we think about, we're going to owe $14,089.50 plus 24% as a decimal of 12,300. So when I calculate this, right, because order of operations, I would multiply first. This gives me 2,952. So I'm adding $14,089.50 plus $2,952. Total federal income tax is $17,041.50. So then this is how we kind of figure all of this out. When you calculate how much you owe, so if you owe $17,041.50, and then you compare that to how much have I paid in so far. This is why some people get a refund, some people pay in. There's all this different checking out of different things, right? So that's how it's all calculated, and it's all based on the tax bracket. So if you've never checked out the federal income tax brackets, go ahead and Google those, see what they look like. It's interesting to see the different levels, the different percentages, and the overage amount. So when people say, oh, I got this part-time job and it put me into a new tax bracket, that's what they're talking about, that they jumped down and now they are a different percentage of things. So a little bit of fun of FICA and federal income tax.